You're tuned in to the New Old Heads Podcast, premiered every Thursday at noon at bringingdowntheband.com and brought to you by No Bad Ideas, Coleman Dental, Printfinity, and Indie CD and Vinyl. Support the New Old Heads by visiting our Patreon at patreon.com/newoldheads.
Episode 118 of the New Old Heads Podcast. I am Major 7th. I make beats. I have the hard drive to prove it. Apparently, everybody else has a hard drive as well.
Yeah. You don't say.
Time for a new intro.
Yeah.
I'm going to continue to say that. Lonegevity, how are you, sir?
I'm great. How are you, Mike?
I'm doing pretty good. Good to see you as always.
Yeah, you too. So great.
Yes, sir. In the corner, fresh to death. Rocking a hockey hoodie. Hockey hoodie with the shiny NHL patch up top. I see you, DJ Jay Diff.
Salutations. This actually is not a hoodie, sir.
That's not a hoodie? You don't have a hood on
This is
that?
a jersey over a hoodie.
I see.
Ooh.
I stand corrected. Speaking of jersey, Mr. Wavy Light-Skinned Girls Be Loving Me Now, sitting at the head of the table. He is conditioned. He is making improvements. Jay Moore, how are you, sir?
Well, you know, it's of course I've made more than just improvements, mind you, but kicking but not high, flapping but can't fly. You know what it is.
I see you. Jersey Day, I feel left out. I'm saying y'all fresh to death. I see y'all.
Yeah, get involved.
The Incomparable, and before I say the Incomparable, y'all have to check out this fresh to death, the DOC hoodie, the formula that DJ Spoolz is wearing. The Incomparable DJ Spoolz. How are you, sir?
Hello, Michael. I'm doing all right. How are you?
I'm good, fam. That hoodie is fresh to death, my brother.
Thanks, man. You got to pay homage to the real legends, you know?
The DOC does
I
not.
think it's important.
100%. He doesn't get the love that I think he should in terms of West Coast artists. I think his trajectory was going to be dope in terms of where he was going until he had to, accident or whatever. But
Certainly.
the formula, all that, like, he was cold.
He taught Snoop how to write rhymes, man.
That's
I don't know, a lot of
crazy.
people don't know that, but I remember seeing on a documentary or a film once, or maybe reading it, that like they lived together for a little while, and Snoop would like write something, and he'd think he'd have something really good, and he'd take it to DOC, and DOC would be like, okay, that's whack, and that's whack,
That's
and that's
crazy.
whack, and that's whack, and he'd be left with like a hook.
Well, yeah,
That's it.
and he taught him how to actually, instead of just endlessly rapping and freestyling, how to turn it
Right.
and just write bars,
Yep.
which is completely different way to do things.
And
So-
his first album, I mean, The Formula is obviously an incredible album, but I mean, like, is it the DOC and the Doctor? That song was incredible, man. I mean, obviously everybody knows it's funky enough, but I mean, they had,
mind blowing.
all the NWA shit. I mean, he wrote a
formulas.
lot of that shit too. I mean, along with Ren and Cube, but DOC was a part of that too.
He wrote some shit on the Chronic as
Yeah,
well.
he was there for that.
Cube usually gets to shine for the writing, which is cool. I'm not mad at that. But to Spool's point, like the DOC was really in there with that pen, you know what I'm saying, to drive that home on some of those joints. So he definitely is a West Coast legend in my opinion. Like,
For sure.
You know what's
Get
crazy?
my
There's
weed.
no cussing on the formula.
That's crazy.
Outside of the grand finale, because that was an NWA posse cut. But
Yeah.
that whole rest of the album, that's one of the hardest albums ever.
Yeah.
There's no, DOC doesn't cuss on that. Also,
Except for the very beginning of It's Funky Enough. Whatever he says, and he said himself, he doesn't really know what he said. Rastamada, son of a fuck. Like something like that at the
Yeah.
beginning.
That
But
was
other than,
his
you're right,
James
other than
Brown
that.
moment.
but you know what's
Yeah.
crazy? He said he was drunk
call.
when they made that record. That's why he's rapping it almost in a patois. Because he's
excuse
like,
me,
I have no
excuse
ties
me.
to
Wait.
to Jamaica.
Hold on.
You just said a word Mike doesn't know.
Yeah, I don't know patois. Say it again.
Patois.
You don't know what that word.
I don't know patois.
Just get with some of my island people. They'll let you know
okay.
about
All
it.
right, fair enough.
Little Jamaican rhythm type shit, man.
Yeah, okay.
Get involved.
Learn something today. So
Yeah, man.
He
Word-
also
word to
had
the
some of the
DOC.
coldest. He had some of the coldest intros on the Chronic.
100%.
Oh, for sure.
The $100 sack pyramid.
Yes, sir.
Dre gonna do my music and shit.
Get my weed.
Yeah.
Get
yeah.
my $25 to go to the motherfucking swap meet.
Bitch. I'm in the money. That shit was awesome.
So shout out to the DOC. He's definitely a legend.
No doubt.
So let's flip it, man. I want to take care of some of these church announcements real quick before we get started. Okay?
What if you don't go to church?
Huh?
What if you don't go to church?
This is the Church of the New Old Heads. Can I have the noise, please, so we can get started? There's a sound that we need for the church announcement. Thank you, sir. So, Jay Moore, where will you be this week?
Let's see. On Thursday, which would be today, I'm going to be at 𝗀𝗲𝗄𝐲 with Lemmy Vice and DJ Gabby Love. Friday night, it's going to be First Fridays at the Hi-Fi, presented by 𝗀𝗃𝐃𝐒.
It's the anniversary, right?
Yes, it's going to be the anniversary of Back to the Future. So I'll be hosting that as well, along with DJ Metronome, DJ 𝗀𝗄𝗄 DJ Stylistic. You just never know who might fall through that and get on and make it happen.
Word.
And then Saturday night, I will be at the 𝗀𝗃𝐲 with DJ Lockstar for Lockdown Saturdays. Hopefully the weather doesn't hate on us like it's done the last 3 Saturdays.
It's tough out here.
Yeah, man. So, it's lots of things to do in the city, man. So get involved with it.
That's what's up. Jay Diff, what you got popping this week?
Thursday is the return of Wine After Work.
Yes.
At the Red Room, so I will
Definitely
be doing
need
that Thursday. And then Friday I will be back at Kruger's from 10 to 2.
I might have to slide
downtown.
through and check you out. That's what's up.
What's
up. Lone, we got anything popping? I think David Peck, right? Saturday?
Yes, Saturday nights, lo-fi hip-hop, 7 to 10 at Patron Saint. Actually, we're doing live performances this week, and I'm actually going to do a set. So
Yes. Busy weekend.
Talked me into it. So
Yeah, I got to
doing raps, not beats.
Yes, sir. Got to support the fam. So that's what's up. We want to pay some bills as well before we get started. So shout out to 𝐀𝐁𝐻𝐃 Dental, 317-255-8546. Get your teeth is right. Go see Dr. Coleman. He's a partner of ours. Indie CD and Vinyl as well, another partner. They take care of us. They've laced us with tons of wax. That's actually a partnership that's really growing, so we appreciate them.
We actually have to do the raffle today.
Oh, word, okay.
We're going to be raffling off this Shad record.
Nice.
It's called A Short Story About War.
Word.
Shouts to Pete's sake, because he actually put me on to that.
Okay.
That's what's up.
It's a really dope conceptual album.
Yeah, we definitely want to continue to shout out all of our partners there, bringing on the band, obviously, and Printfinity and No Bad Ideas as well. They laced us with the knit joint. I like the knit joints. These are old school, half knit, half whatever.
It's kind of a mesh.
Is that mesh?
It's not a knit.
Yeah, I'm thinking knit because it's cold outside. I'm sorry, Spoolz. Damn it. I apologize. Come on, man.
Hey,
That's not keeping you warm at all, man.
No, that's it's got holes in it.
Yeah, apology not accepted.
Yo,
Yeah.
shout out to the people watching us that can hear Red August giggling in the background. We appreciate him as well for.
Well, you got to remember, there's a number of people
experience.
that don't watch this. So you just described a knit hat.
I didn't
You
I?
just lied to all those people. But don't worry, I came in and helped, so it's all
Thanks,
good.
Brad.
Yeah, man, I got your back, bro.
Thanks for being a friend, brother.
Yeah, man. Travel down the road. Back again.
Back again.
That's right.
Your heart is
Shout out to
strong.
Betty
You're a
White.
pal and a
Pal and a
confidant.
confidant.
Yeah.
And Mike, if you threw a party.
Yeah.
No, I'm just.
Hey, Blanche was out there in them streets. I don't want nobody to.
You going?
Huh?
You was going, huh?
I hope so.
All right. Hey, Blanche was out there in them streets.
Get
but
the
I ain't gonna
fart
talk about-
mask ready.
Come on. Hey, yo, Jay Diff is out here. Jay Diff out here on his foolishness, man. But we not gonna entertain
Stays in the
that.
trunk.
Right.
Yeah,
Dust it off.
yeah.
Literally.
Yo, sometimes it's jokes within the fam, man. I'm just gonna leave it at that. That's very well played, by the way. All right, episode 118. I got a couple quick hits, man. I thought this was very interesting. We try to stay away from 45, right?
No, we don't. Not really.
Yeah.
Okay, but he presents himself.
I mean, we don't
He's-
want to talk about
There
it.
you go. That's what I'm looking for.
But
So,
we can't act like it didn't happen.
I was telling Lone this prior to us going on. There's a report from the New York Times, CNN as well, that they think the 35-day government shutdown, there's a tab of about $11 billion that costs. And then I believe there's $3 billion that no matter what is going to disappear, and then we'll see what happens with the other 8. So I used to always hear people say, Trump's business acumen and, he's the negotiator and blah, 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 blah. But I'm like, how can we do $11 billion in debt and that's higher than what you're asking for the price of the wall? Like, that's hustling backwards to me. I thought that was rather stupid on his part.
Alarming.
Very alarming.
It's never been really about protection or anything. It's really just about him assigning his name to something that people will remember.
It's a monument to me. It's a monument.
That's really what it is. He doesn't really care. I mean, he'll be dead by the time it's up.
Did you guys see him describing the trafficking, human trafficking, and how it happens at the border. Like, did you guys see that? And then there were people that fact checked that came right behind it and were like, yo, this doesn't happen. There may be one instance where this may have happened in terms of the women being duct taped and thrown in trucks. And he was telling the whole story, like, they throw them in trucks and they turn left and right at the border, and this is trafficking and blah, 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 blah.
You've been watching Sicario.
That's what it is. Is that what it is?
Yeah.
Well, I'll tell you what, the side note, the first Sicario is really good.
It is.
Okay.
The second one, as soon as I saw the previews for it, I was like, what happened? Do you know what I'm talking about?
No, I saw the first one. I never got
The first
around
one
to
was
the second
incredible.
one.
Because it was, from my understanding, a pretty accurate depiction of some things that go on.
I felt like the second one, they were just going over the top.
It was like a, who's the baddest ass drug killers? Like it was terrible. It was,
I was
so
like, did Michael Bay
sensationalized.
do this? What the hell is going on?
It was bad, dude. I didn't watch it. I just saw the preview. I was like, Sarah, we're not watching the second one.
Michael Bay can fuck up some shit.
Yeah.
Jay Moore hates Michael Bay for his
I don't
contributions
hate-
to Transformers.
okay.
We ain't gonna do that though,
Yeah,
because
okay.
that'll spill off into something else.
Yeah, yeah.
But
So,
you definitely don't like Michael Bay.
What's
100%.
So I didn't hear. I think that he can. I mean, he just kind of seems to be doing the same thing, like using language that I don't know. People that don't take the time to research these things and stuff will just kind of buy hook, line, and sinker. Again, and if you even look at the movie Sicario, they used a fucking tunnel.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Wow.
So like, I don't know, dude. It's mind blowing, man.
I've never seen someone that
Sicario.
can. I haven't seen that as well. I've never seen someone that just spit off so many random numbers that are not, like fact checked or searched. Like,
I mean,
there's
it
no
has
research
to.
behind.
It has to fit. It has to fit his montage, agenda, his
narrative.
Exactly. Just like he was just speaking on the climate.
I think Lone posted that.
I did.
I think Lone posted that.
Oh,
Jay
yeah.
Moore did it on IG. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Yeah, he was talking about what's it called? What's the term?
Global warming.
Global warming.
He was speaking about how the polar vortex is around. So how can there be global warming?
Did he actually say polar vortex?
He didn't say
he didn't
that
mention
because
but I'm
that's
saying-
way above his his vocabulary.
Right.
He
No,
said,
he didn't say that at
where's
all.
all this global warming? It's cold in the Midwest. Like,
He's like,
basically.
It's the coldest in the Midwest. Good,
Yeah.
Great. Where's this global warming at?
I'm hearing that. I'm hearing he was just being sarcastic, and he didn't.
No,
really
he was
think
not
that.
being sarcastic.
I think he believed it 100%.
He did believe it because he doesn't believe in global warming.
There you go.
Well, one of the things is I know this is going to say, I don't care at this point.
As you
Donald
should.
Trump, he does a fantastic job of speaking to people who are poorly researched, poorly read, and just people who are low information individuals.
100%.
And that's my way of being nice, is saying he knows how to talk to stupid people. And that's where I think a lot of times because unfortunately this is why Democrats lose, is because they don't know how to, they try to speak to everyone with nuance. With facts, and then people get bored, and then they like to see the clapping seal. Like, that's what gets them involved. And so
That's it
when
right
Donald
there.
Trump says it's cold outside, I guess global warming is a myth, and then people clap for that.
Mm-hmm.
And it's easy for them to digest, and it almost it validates whatever low information
Right.
and lack of research that they've done, and so they feel good about themselves. And so that's what happens with this
Jay Moore,
whole-
you just got way too nuanced for describing what that is.
Well, there you go.
Too much nuance.
You just
right
lost everybody you're trying to educate.
Well, we probably lost him a long time
there. Yeah,
on
that
this
was,
podcast. But
you
it's-
dug deep right there, brother.
But it really goes into, like, even with this, like, if you watch Fox News for just 10 or 15 minutes, they'll have you believe that Donald Trump won this whole thing. Like, and of course, I'm also, I think, of the resident conspiracy theorist
yes.
on this show, talking
I don't know about that one. So.
Well, you know what? I think I got a good partner in crime right next to me.
100%.
You know,
100%.
Although I don't like that term.
Yeah,
but I'm there with you.
But I honestly think a large part of why he shut this down is because he has 32 donors who do not want this messing up their party that they're having in Atlanta.
Wow.
So
And by party in
there's the
Atlanta
wow.
means the Super Bowl.
The Super Bowl.
That's a real wow. Thank you.
So
Don't do that.
So if you remember back to the campaign, like the Patriots gave him $1 million. I believe the Rams gave him $1 million. So
Brady had a hat tucked
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? He had to, Kraft rock with him.
So, and you're talking about all of this. This is what the Super Bowl is, the biggest one-day corporate event. Like, it's not for football fans. I mean, if
Shout
you
out to the Super Bowl.
remember when the
I
Super
never
Bowl
been.
was here in Indianapolis, like, it
Oh,
is
man.
a whole week of just corporate.
It's 2 weeks.
Yeah.
It's
Two
two
full
full
weeks,
weeks
yeah.
of, because I got to partake. I think all of us probably did
Oh,
at some
yeah.
point partake in something like, and then everybody is in town. It's a big deal. There's a
It's
lot of
the-
money,
it's the Bud Light this, it's the Doritos this, it's the Cadillac this.
Pepsi,
It's
pizza,
not just
all that shit.
It's not just, hey, football fans, let's have a good time. It's like, hey, football fans, let's have a good time. Brought to you by this,
Oh,
this.
yeah.
Yeah.
Big
So I honestly think so much of what he's really concerned about as far as preserving his legacy is propped up by his corporate partners, because those are the people who's really concerned about.
Yep.
That he said, okay, we'll put this off for 3 weeks. That'll make sure that people can get in and out of Hartsfield.
Because that's when he said we were put out for a few weeks, and
Till
then
the 15th.
put it
Exactly.
off.
You
excuse
know
me.
what?
Yeah, so
I'll-
it's only
I'll-
because this government, it's only a little band-aid for 3 weeks. It could be shut down for
I don't even
35
want to give
days.
him. I don't even want to give him that much burn. I want to go ahead and go into something else.
Let's transition into that thing I just showed you.
Yeah.
Because
So it says Meek Mill and Jay-Z have started a prison reform organization. That was per CNN, right? Is that right?
I'm not sure. where
Okay.
I heard
from.
it through the BBC was where I'd initially seen the report.
The reason why I just brought that up and sent that, one, because it is relevant, but
Yep.
two, because one of the people on the board or of some sorts is Robert Kraft, which is interesting.
He showed Meek love when he got out
he
of
did.
prison and all that. So yeah,
I don't
that's a good
know
point.
how much. I don't know if it's a stunt
Perhaps.
or you know what I mean. I don't know
Perhaps.
the levels of that.
I just
but-
remember seeing a picture of Robert Kraft talking to Meek Mill and Gucci Mane at like a basketball game, and I'm like,
Yeah,
what a
Sixers
time to be alive, man! It's just
Yeah, isn't it?
That's a good call though. Like I'm with that. Like with Hov and Meek trying to do that. I think that's dope. So I'm with that 100%.
But I don't want to just say, even though I know he supports Donald Trump, I don't want to say that Robert Kraft isn't sincere
might
about
be.
He could be,
about wanting prison reform, because he, for whatever you have to say about Donald Trump, like he has made a few steps, because to be fair, he has made some steps as far as making changes in criminal justice reform. Now they're underreported because he does all this other weird shit, but you have to give credit where credit is due. So maybe they're actually on the same page with this thing.
Let's jump
It
into
might be, but at the same time, a broken clock is right at least 2 times a day.
I see
This
you
is
over
So
also
there.
like
true.
you have to kind of take the good with the bad
Right.
and kind of figure out what exactly is going on here, because there's a reach trying to get minority votes to swing certain ways. So if you have certain people backing certain things in order to secure your position in Congress or whatnot, you need those other votes. So if somebody's showing you something, and this goes back to what you were saying as far as people taking things for the surface level
Right.
and not actually investigating what the hell is going on, then to you it looks great. It looks amazing. You know what I'm saying? But once you start peeling back those layers, you'll actually see exactly what that shit means.
Like,
That's
why?
what's up.
What's the reasoning behind it? Are you playing this angle so he probably doesn't care about? Like, I'm not going to go on the off
Money,
the
money and
tangent,
power
yeah.
tend to often be the answers to a lot of questions like this.
Oh, yeah.
Unfortunately, not to be super pessimistic or anything, but the answers tend to be people usually move in certain ways for money or for power.
He
Tends to
definitely,
be.
he definitely set a bar right there. That's real.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's real life. Whatever, man. Like I said, this is stuff that may pop up.
But I'm curious of watching the reform stuff and see what
100%. So
It
shout out
is
to Meek and
interesting.
Hov. That's a good move. That's something I think.
and the people that they got along that they grabbed to be a part of it. Which
Do you
which
know
is
who
cool.
else off the top of your head?
No, I don't off the top, but
You know what's a weird fact though?
What's up?
Kim Kardashian has done more in this presidency than Melania Trump has,
Wow.
has she?
How do you
That's
mean
real.
exactly?
as far as like prison reform things.
Okay.
Like generally what I mean by that is like generally you see the first lady like implementing different organizations
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
things like that to tend to help people.
Yeah.
What has Melania Trump done?
She's been focused on bullies.
Oh.
So
That's
her husband.
That's a big issue.
The irony in that though.
Yeah, she didn't like our ham and Milk Boy video.
Yeah.
That was her thing. That's the only thing I'm not paying close attention, so I'm sure there's been other stuff, but the only thing that I recall hearing her be a part of was something to do, like an anti-bullying campaign.
Spoolz is actually right, because that's the majority, from what I've had a chance to watch or follow. The majority of anything that she pushes relates to bullying, cyberbullying, online, whatever.
That's why I liked Michelle Obama.
But we
so
don't
much.
even see Melania that much. I don't know when's the last time she was even. I mean, that's
So
Michelle Obama seemed to be involved with a lot of really.
She
good
was.
Yeah, Michelle Obama is dope.
So I'm guessing that you and Miss Trump you guys connect on certain things, because if she's talking about cyberbullying, and that's really your thing, right?
That
You know,
is your thing.
I've experienced
She hit
it.
you up to maybe sponsor the
maybe to
No.
comfort you after you had been cyberbullied.
They tried to throw me
she
a
giving
bag.
you a bag?
They tried to throw me a bag, but I had too much respect for y'all to try to just
Who's
get the
been
bag.
doing this cyberbullying to you?
I'm sorry?
Who's been doing the cyberbullying?
Well, man, we got a rundown. I kind of get emotional when I talk about it, so I don't think we
cyberbullying
need to,
really strikes a chord with like,
I see.
Yeah, it happens. But they try to throw a bag at me to try to sell y'all out, but it's cool. I ain't even talking.
So there
us.
we go.
It's
Yeah.
us?
So you
All
just
right,
kind of
see.
revealed
you,
it.
you just got your answer.
Okay.
So I'm gonna be cool on that. I ain't gonna go down that road.
Ralph
I made it out
Tresvant.
though. I'm good now.
Ralph Tresvant
Great
Diaries.
song. Sensitivity was
Man
a great
with
record.
Sensitivity.
No,
Yeah. We're not talking about the song. We're talking about
Yeah.
your Ralph Tresvant Diaries.
We're talking about your deflections.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what's next?
Shout
What's
out
next,
shout out to the Clapping Seals and Ralph Tresvant. We appreciate y'all. So how do I pronounce this, man? Is it the Fyre?
Fire.
Fire.
Thank you, Bradley Spoolz.
Fyre. Ferrere.
All right, so
Hooked on phonics.
I got a chance to watch.
Fire.
I mean, we've never talked about the Fyre Festival
That's
on here
right.
before.
Fear.
Yeah, I'm just saying. I want to make
Sweet
sure I say it
pickles.
right.
It worked for me.
I hope so.
All right, so Lone is a genius. All right, so I got a chance to watch a little bit of the foolishness that was going on out there on the Bahamas. So this Billy McFarland guy and Ja Rule.
I'm sorry.
Billy McFarland.
Just to hear Ja Rule's
Billy
name.
sounds like a dickhead ass name too.
I wrote down a couple things from
Shout out to all our listeners named Billy. We didn't do that.
You guys aren't, but that
Yeah,
dude is.
but
Yeah.
Billy McFarland is a cornball. All right, so I wrote down a couple things that just jumped out to me. First of all, on the mainland, they sold 5,000 tickets on the mainland for this joint. They said April 27th, the day of the show, there were rain-soaked tents and mattresses just posted up everywhere, like out there. These people that flown to this event,
FEMA
which
camp.
is trash.
It's a FEMA camp.
It was like leftovers. Yeah.
Yeah, like they said the luggage was just, they backed up a truck with a trailer on it and had all the luggage in there. Like, yo,
Not that bad.
Yeah.
just go for broke.
Yeah.
Get
Here
your
you go.
luggage.
Yeah.
Here you go.
That's trash. And it turns out that Billy McFarland pleaded guilty
And Ja
went
Rule.
to jail for 6
Well,
years
Ja
as
Rule
of
didn't go to
2018, so he's still in jail now. Ja Rule really came out and was like, yo, man, what's the Malcolm X line? Bamboozle, hoodwink,
Ah, shit.
led astray. Like, he said that on social media, and I'm like, fam, you look like a major cornball right now in terms of how you're reacting to this. Like, this dude wasn't your partner that just went to jail. Like, he's totally just ignoring that this was his guy. We saw the video. They were sitting together talking about the festival, talking about the app, which was for, I guess, to expedite the booking of artists that want to come out and perform or whatever. So,
Concert booking.
yeah, concert
And
booking. So,
real quick, to Sean's point, we were talking about this before. That part was neat. That part was
Yeah.
cool.
The app was
the app
actually
itself.
dope.
Yeah.
It was the fact that this festival that they tried to put out to what's the word?
Like
I'm
promote
looking
it?
for? Promote
Yeah.
it was just so not done well at all. You know, you
Hogwash.
can't.
The app was way cooler than the show.
Yeah, it's
Or
cool.
the
Like as
event.
somebody that's booked people in the past, I'm like, oh, that would be kind of
yeah.
neat.
Yeah.
You know, like
Don't get me
know-
wrong. The promo was incredible. Like,
we
showed
I'll
them
tell
all
you
the
this.
jet
So here's
skis
what's
and the
interesting to me.
Models.
Yes,
yeah,
sir.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Here's what's, I mean, like, we'll talk about this for a while, but first things, I guess, that jumped out to me, right?
please.
Ja Rule's a fucking douchebag, dude. Like, that jumped out to me immediately. Like,
50 was right.
50
just
was right.
incredible douchebag, and he's continuing to show that he's a douchebag
Facts.
now because
Y'all
he was
think
hooked
50
up with
was on the booking app? Y'all think they put him on there?
I bet he didn't make it. Yeah,
God damn.
it'd been funny if 50 like turned around and bought it though. That would've been
Right.
funny.
Like he did them tickets. Go ahead, Spoolz.
So, but the point Sean made was good. So I was like, as I was watching this with Sarah, we were talking, and like when they initially launched, so before the show thing ever happened, but when they got everything off the ground, that's difficult within itself. And that was quite a feat that they were able to do that too. But here's what's interesting about all of it. At the head of all this is a guy who's just really good at getting people like separating people from their money.
Yeah.
Separating people who have a lot of money from their money.
Con artist, professional.
Really good at it. Also a huge douchebag.
Sociopath.
Yes.
Billy.
Huge douchebag.
Billy.
But the last thing I'll say before I pass it over to somebody is but when he after all this shit fell apart, I know we'll revisit this some more. When he got in trouble and got out, he asked someone to come film him, and I remember specifically him saying, "Man, what I've learned is just always have the cameras rolling." It's okay. So he gets in trouble. He comes and has this guy continue to film him, and then he starts another illegal venture while he's being voluntarily filmed.
Yeah.
While he's
on fucking the balls.
While
on
he's
this
out
guy.
on bail, he's like, "Hey, come film me doing some other shady shit."
Yeah, selling fake tickets to fucking events and shit.
To
The Met Gala.
The Met Gala, which you can't buy tickets
Yeah,
for.
what the fuck?
Where's the bell, man? Did we? Because that's
No,
some fuck
you know who
shit.
gets the bell more so?
Who's that?
Rich dumb people.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
We're ringing.
Well, you
for
know
them.
what? Because
It was a lot of them.
I think
Yeah.
a big part of it is there is this, I hate to say the millennials, but it just is what it is. There is this almost want and need to buy into cool. Instead of
100%.
just
God,
instead
yes.
of hey, just being around and everyone, they want to when people go to clubs and be like, yeah, it's a movie, and they always got to hold their phone up and Snapchat themselves doing whatever that they're doing.
I just want to interject real quick.
wants
I've
to
never
be like
been
that.
to the club where it felt like a movie.
No,
I've had a good time, but it never felt.
It never
like a
felt
movie.
like a movie. That's just all
I'm
right.
just saying.
What a terrible, stupid thing to say. But I think
making a movie.
I think there's a lot of people who are just if they say someone else organizes and say we're going to do the Fyre Festival, we're going to do it right. There's shut up and take my money. That's just what it is because people want to buy into that lifestyle that they can be next to the Kardashians and the Bella Hadids and all these people.
And
they
did
see
a
in People
great job
magazine.
of selling image. That's what
That's
they
a
did was
fact.
this feeling. And some people, and I guess if he's good at anything, if you want to say that, he's good at knowing that what Jay Moore just said is fucking paramount for people these days.
100%.
want to be
Part of that is the
next to the cool.
Yeah.
the firm that they hired, Fuck Jerry, were responsible,
Which is
for
a real
lot of that. Right.
Oh my god.
They were
let me ask you guys
responsible for getting a lot of those people on board.
Do you think, not to, because I know we have plenty to talk about with this topic, do you guys think that the people who marketed this festival should be held responsible for any of the fucking, the fallout?
If they took a payout from it, if they were paid for it, I think to a certain extent. But overall, I think Ja Rule should definitely be at fault somewhere in
so
there.
here's, okay, and that's
I
legit.
don't-
I've heard that from others.
I
agree with you.
I don't think so.
actually
Sean,
don't think
why
so.
do you
No.
why do you not think so?
Because as we're watching the documentary, we see that it's just so random. You know what I mean? The promo video was just inviting people out to fly out here and to take Instagram pics. There wasn't any contracts or anything. It was just
And
come
swim
out,
with
let's fly, huh?
And swim with pigs.
Yep. If we
Okay.
swim with the fucking pigs.
Yeah.
He swears a lot.
But
He said the F word. He tried to sound so cool in that documentary, man.
Corny.
But it was, if they sign contracts to say, hey, I'm going to do this for this, then yes, I think so. But even the Kendall Jenner thing, I don't know. I mean, she just Instagrammed something.
You know
right?
she got $250,000 for that.
Okay,
I
so
believe
she got paid for it.
Yeah.
And I'm guessing some people did get paid for some things, but at the same time, you're promoting a festival that hasn't happened yet.
Yeah.
That liability is not on the people that aren't throwing the festival.
They don't know that this guy is a complete con man and that he doesn't know that you have to pay taxes in a foreign country to bring in water and liquor and all these permits. Kendall Jenner doesn't know that. She just knows my check cleared.
So I've done some work with did marketing for a long time, but I worked at a company. I didn't work for a firm, but we hired outside firms.
Mm-hmm.
And kind of the point you guys were both making, and maybe this is just a part of that business. It shouldn't. If you're being hired to perform a service, you are an expert at marketing a product, at marketing products.
You should be.
You should not be, as a part of that work that you do. you're not tied to that company in any way except for the marketing things that you produce. I would think.
That's a good point.
It's just like a manufacturing. I mean, for all the people that have regular jobs that I used to have, but like I was a quality engineer for a long time. We were bound by the FDA when we put our product out, but the materials we get in, it's on us if we get stuff that is where our raw materials come from. It's on us.
Right.
We buy it from them. They supply us what they supply us with. It's on us to follow through and make sure that everything that we're doing is up to code. It's the same thing.
Yeah. Mike, what do you think? Do you think that the marketing firms should be responsible for the fallout or not?
I'm kind of along the lines of when you're hired as a marketing firm, right? Your job is to strictly do the marketing. Right, nothing else. I'm not attached to anything else. I'm not associated to anything else. Exactly. No. You hired me as a contractor to come out and perform the marketing. So, unless there's something that we're missing, paperwork wise, or under the table wise, or verbal commitments or something like that, I think they're cool. But I want to play devil's advocate here because we talked about Ja Rule. And I'm coming to Terry on this one because he and I seem to be on the same page in terms of Ja Rule. I know you guys were opposing that.
I think I made my
not
point
at all.
pretty clear.
You did.
Ja Rule has nothing to do with the marketing aspect. He's part owner.
But here's my thing, though.
We haven't talked about Ja Rule's part yet. But
that's my point.
I'm talking about the Instagram models.
Okay,
just the
stuff like
marketing
that,
firm.
Fair enough.
Not Ja Rule.
And the
You
marketing
can ask
firm.
him about Ja Rule. But what I was talking about was just the company, I think it was Fuck Jerry, that was hired to market and promote the event.
We're on the same page on the marketing.
And for those who haven't seen the documentary, we're not just being profane. Like the marketing firm was called Fuck Jerry.
100%.
And they're big.
I'm profane sometimes.
Yeah, I mean,
it was called that.
Yeah.
Spoolz, I'm with you 100% on the marketing. I get it. To the Ja Rule point. Here's my question, because this is the way I took it. If I'm wrong, please correct me. I took it as McFarlane and Ja Rule. Billy. These guys, they came into this in some form or capacity as partners, no?
Yes.
Like, were they together knowingly they were partners going in, right? Ja Rule was a partner with McFarlane, with Billy, right?
Yeah, that's the
when,
issue.
when he comes out and says, I was lied to, I was bamboozled, I was whatever, I'm like, fam, you were the closest to this guy. That's the way I take it.
This
like,
is the
you guys
problem
were,
that I see.
Go
This is
ahead.
the problem that I see with the whole Ja Rule situation. So the reason why he ended up being close to Ja Rule like that is because he was trying to book him for a party.
Okay.
He was not able to get through to the right connects. He kept having to go through middlemen, which in turn eventually led him to Ja Rule. He talked to him about something that he had going on that he wanted to do.
Okay.
Ja Rule decided to come on board with that.
Hence the Fyre app.
Right.
Gotcha.
So Ja Rule is rubbing elbows with him on all the TV interviews. He's there for the planning. He was also there when people were telling him there's not enough time to execute this event. We should either push it back or not do it at all. He was one of the people instrumental in saying, no, let's go, until there's charges to be pressed. And now it's like this.
That's what I'm talking about.
You know what I'm saying? Because he was set to make a pretty penny off of that.
Okay.
So regardless of how involved he was involved, he has a percentage share in that business. So you can't put all the blame on Billy because Billy put you on the board. And Billy was also getting you paid.
That's what I'm looking for.
You know what I'm saying?
That's the clarification I'm looking for.
It's almost like when you watch the interviews, because I watched the one on Hulu as well.
Yep.
And whenever they would talk to Ja Rule or ask him a question, I was like, he has no idea what the hell he's talking
That's
about.
absolutely true.
And I don't know, because I almost felt like this was Ja Rule's chance to his vitamin water that 50 had.
Yeah.
Because he want to be like 50 so bad.
It's his opportunity to do a title like what Jay-Z has, the
Right.
Queensbridge capital.
He want to
whatnot.
sell some shit like Nas.
for,
All of them
for
are
lack of
eating
a better
right now.
term,
Nas out here eating, by the way.
this is his chance to get next to some white money.
Okay. I like how
But-
I like how you shook your head.
Sorry, I
when
said
you
it like my
that.
dad. Get next to the white money.
Yeah, I like that. That was dope.
And he just he got with the wrong white people, and
Wow.
it just didn't work out at all.
He got with a dumbass.
Yeah, he got out with Billy. And
I mean, Billy had
it
been
was-
scamming people since freaking elementary school.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you,
That
when you
credit
watch
card?
when you
No,
watch
not the credit card.
When you watch the Hulu
Crayons.
one, he was selling crayons.
He was selling broke crayons to
Crayons.
kids.
So
Yeah.
Billy's just a
No.
dirtbag off top.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah, so
hilarious.
He's been a dirtbag.
No,
Wow.
Jay Moore makes a great point. That jumped out to me too. Like Ja Rule, from what I saw, has no business being in like a boardroom or anything to do with the business dealings that went on. Like, what was the line? The line we all love. It's not fraud. It might be false advertising.
Yeah.
Like, what
Yeah.
business fucking school did you learn that from, Mr. Rule? Like, I don't think you know what
Rikers
you're talking
Island.
about.
That
Yeah.
clip is on Bringing Down the Band's YouTube.
Where's
too.
Ja?
And it's really funny because the thing is that
There's a question you're never gonna fucking hear again, probably from anybody.
No.
Where's
I
Ja? I need to find out what Ja Rule thinks about this.
Yeah.
so
Shout out to
anyways,
Dave Chappelle.
so if you watch that clip,
Yeah.
you literally like in the documentary you can actually see how disassociated the app team is in comparison to
Billy
the
and Ja
team
Rule.
the
Billy.
team that's trying to put this promotional festival together.
They were there to work.
They were there to work,
Yeah,
and they
that's
were
the
doing
thing.
what they're doing. So even in that, his name is like Ma David or something.
David.
Shouts to Ma David.
That's right.
He was saying like, no, this is fraud, and
Yeah.
and everybody's like, how do we get out of this? And Ja was like, no, this is not fraud.
Yeah.
It's false advertising.
What's his name? Spoolz?
Is that Mr. Rule?
No, David. What's his name?
Oh, David? Like Milady?
Malay.
That bugged me out the first time, and like I was like, did anybody else want to talk about this?
I was like,
What type of name is that?
I wonder if it was a typo.
I don't know.
Yeah.
He sound. That's a suspect. That's a suspect name.
Is it?
Yeah. What up, Ma David?
I mean,
What can you do, man? You
It's-
don't get to pick
you
your
don't-
own name
you
unless he
don't-
did
No,
pick
no.
that. Then that's
might have
on him.
No, but it's just look.
He
I-
might have picked Ma David.
from
Shout out
the
to Ma
little
David.
bit experience I had, trying to promote events or, when I was putting together things when I worked in public broadcasting, if they had said, okay, you have this, just what I was doing, like say for like a wine fest or something, and you only have 6 weeks to put all this together, I'd
Yeah.
be like, there's no way.
The Catalina wine mixer.
If it was,
I see.
6 weeks to put together a TV pledge drive, can't do it.
Right.
And I have the infrastructure and the team in place to do it. I have a good friend, Emory Edwards. He does like the 100 Black Men Big Gala at the JW Marriott every year.
I hear good things
There's
about
absolutely
that event.
he's like, there's no way I could do that in 6 weeks. And I do this every year. I already know who I'm going to use, what I'm going to use, but you can't pull anything of that size off or a lot smaller in 6 weeks. It's impossible.
They
I
said
mean-
they would have needed a full year.
I mean,
Oh, yeah.
somebody that we've had on the show twice, Ryan Hickey, DJ
Oh, yeah.
Helicon. He used to he threw orange.
Yeah.
He'll tell you about the process
The
that's involved in
preparation,
that.
everything.
the
that's goes
amount
into
of paperwork that goes into it.
Yeah.
People just think, oh, I'm gonna just tell people to show up and they'll be there. It's like, no, like
And that's locally in the
He-
United
Exactly.
States.
Yeah.
it took him probably he probably announced it 6 months out,
Right.
but he had been working on it for a good year before that. So
We could talk about that. What was that local festival that tried to pop up out
Oh,
of anywhere?
what was the name of that?
Tried to be
Briar Ripple?
downtown. Nah,
No, it was going to be
Oh, that
downtown,
way.
like Military Park or something.
Yeah,
wasn't
I
it?
can't remember the name of it. I'll be honest.
And everybody in the music community knew it was going to fail.
That was the local
And then
Fyre
it did.
Fest.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because they also gypped people out of money on that as well.
So here's another interesting take on, or maybe not. We'll see. Fyre Festival. Sean, you
Yes.
made a good point when we were talking about this before. That if this guy pulls this shit off, then everybody's like, "Oh, he's a genius," right?
Yeah.
Right.
Yep.
I think that's problematic. Now, what you said is completely true, because had they pulled it all off, and then he's the next thing, man. Like he's the
Yep.
and they were saying that throughout the Netflix documentary too. This guy's he's just but,
Positive. Be positive.
man, when faking it till you make it goes wrong, guy. I'm just saying, man. There's nothing wrong with just being a genuine person who doesn't
fair.
tell half truths. I just think that kind of like take out that he fucked up Fyre Festival, and you just kind of watch him how he moves and talks. People love that shit. People
Right.
aspire to be that shit in this country.
just to have that level of confidence
Yeah.
to lie that
Yeah,
well.
more so than like
True.
than like wanting to be a good person, I feel like, or to have integrity and stuff like that.
Well, you
so
can't be a good person in business, can you?
that's a good question,
That's
sir.
tough.
That's
That's
a great
tough.
question.
You
can't.
It's politics.
That's a bar
They say
right
greed
there.
Business is politics.
Greed is good.
That's a
what,
bar
what they
right
said
there.
in Wall Street. Right?
Spoolz, let me
And
ask
those
you.
people wound up in jail.
Spoolz, let me
Hey,
ask
man.
you a question.
That's what. I don't think so, but yeah.
I got questions for Spoolz real quick. In relation to what you were just talking about, I'm coming from the standpoint of the people that were, that just went online and actually just saw something and just jumped 100% out the window into it.
Mm-hmm.
Do we,
The consumer.
how do we look at them from the standpoint of, you know, us being in a generation where it's like the influencers, they call them online.
Mm-hmm.
People throw shit up, it looks dope, people jump out the window and just go. No research, no preparation. We've talked about preparation. We talked about Orange.
Mm-hmm.
Like, how do we feel about the consumers? Like, where are we with them?
I think Jay Moore spoke about that well.
Okay.
But I'll speak to it as well. The whole like that if you wouldn't have online influencers if everybody didn't have this, not everybody, but if there wasn't this overwhelming need to feel cool,
Right.
and exclusive,
I got you.
and all that. So as long as that, in my opinion, that need is greater than other needs for some people, then there will always be influencers. However, I'm not shitting on those influencers necessarily. I think it's petty, and I think it's lame, and I think that, you know, the influencers I watch on Twitter and stuff like that have nothing. They're not tweeting about parties, man.
Right.
Now that's just me. Now, does that mean no one should have fun in their life and you should only? No, you can still have a
Right.
good time and still enjoy your life. But at what point does it become more important than a lot of other aspects of your life? At what point does being cool and being exclusive, and not only so much that, flaunting it,
Right.
Yeah, because that's a
Right.
big part of this. Just so
showing
we can put it on
everyone
the
else,
gram.
even people you don't know,
Yeah.
what you're doing.
I think it was funny, actually.
I don't know.
What's that?
Yeah, because they got.
I think it
scammed,
was
man.
funny because, like, once they got there, they're expecting this elaborate
Yeah.
event
Yeah.
that they paid a shit ton of money to go to. Like, who would? Me personally, I'm not in that bracket to where I could do that.
Okay.
But these are all a bunch of young kids and whose parents are probably rich and their hedge funds, fucking kids and shit.
Yeah.
They're thinking that they're about to see this elaborate event, and they get there, and it was
It's FEMA
like,
tents.
yeah, it's FEMA tents, and they're eating fucking cheese and bread sandwiches.
Excuse you.
Did you see the,
soggy
like-
cheese and bread
Yeah,
sandwiches?
so
Make sure you put the
that's
soggy
what's
part in
that's
there.
what's funny to me is they're thinking about they're about to have this crazy experience.
Yeah.
and their
they had one.
experience, yeah, they did.
Yeah.
It was like third world country.
Shout out to the luggage truck. That's crazy in itself to me. Just jump in there and
I mean,
get
people
what you
were-
want.
Within like 6 hours, people were like grabbing pillows and shit and like hoarding them and
Yeah.
hoarding toilet paper.
Yeah.
And like,
Dude.
like
They
flipping
created
over.
a barter system. It
took-
turned into Lord. It turned into Lord of the Flies.
It
man.
did, dude.
Come
in
on,
6
man.
hours.
Yeah,
Like
Lord of the
people
Flies.
started freaking out.
Literally.
Remember Sean and I were talking about it, turned into fucking barbarians.
Yeah.
Like somebody was who needs 13 pillows?
Yo,
Like
I
you
got
don't
to-
give a fuck about anybody, man.
got
Like,
12 mattresses.
some
in
dude
my
said that
FEMA
he
tent.
didn't want anybody sleeping around him, so they would break, step on, and piss on the tents around them, so no one would sleep in the tents. near them.
what's the movie?
It's crazy.
That was their luxurious area, though, right?
What's the joint?
Yeah.
Shawshank.
Get away from my FEMA tent.
Shawshank.
Right.
They was talking about $10, right?
No, that's
But
South
that's
Central.
not.
South
It's
Central.
not South Central.
South Central.
How do you confuse?
No.
15 bucks.
That's what I'm talking about because it was the
Central to
areas.
Shawshank
Don't do that.
Redemption.
Don't do that.
Yeah, how did you confuse
Don't do
those
that.
two?
Talking about
We had
Andy
a great
Dufresne?
That was
Anyway,
like
man.
60, 70 years apart.
Look, man, they was out there selling that toilet paper 2 for $5. You know what I'm saying?
I think
Where?
Andy Dufresne was on a different
at the
movie.
festival. It was don't do that, man. They was moving that work out
That
there
was
for
the
that
last day
toilet
the
paper.
sisters ever bothered Andy Dufresne.
Hey, yo, what's my man name that hung himself? Brooks.
Brooks.
Yeah,
What's
Brooks.
his name?
Brooks.
I know this has nothing to do with the festival, but that was a damn good movie, man.
What was the name of it, Mike?
It's called
South
South Central.
Hey, low
South
key.
Central starring
Yo,
Right.
hey,
Morgan Freeman.
Right.
Tim Robbins. Yeah.
hey,
Morgan
yo,
Freeman was
Cautionary
was
tale.
He was
about-
the
OG
fucking
Bobby Johnson.
yeah. He was OG Bobby Johnson and shit.
hey, yo, low
Tim Robbins played that Aryan dude. 15 bucks of smoke.
Arian Etchus, motherfucker.
Hey, yo, key. Hey, low key.
Can't
He
you
had
see
to-
this
know this a
man
man?
standing here?
Hey, yo, low key.
Yeah, he a man.
He had to climb
Yeah,
through.
you know he's a man.
He had to crawl through some bullshit though, low key.
Oh,
Literally.
he crawled
Get out
through
there.
some bullshit. Andy Dufresne.
All right, man.
I think that's all for Firefest.
Clearly.
we could talk for hours.
We could.
Like
What a
that.
disaster.
It was just at the end of the day, it was a bullshit ass festival that did not have enough time to make people actually respect it. Because
Yeah.
they're thinking they're about to make a festival that's rivaling like Lollapalooza and
Come on, man.
Coachella and things
Come on
like
now.
that. And to y'all's point, as far as what you're saying is planning, those are being planned immediately after the first one ends.
Yeah.
True.
You know what I'm saying? So,
That's probably why
like
they
for example, you had Coachella. They had Kanye booked for it.
Yeah.
Kanye decided that there wasn't enough room for his stage that he wanted to do.
Which is some bullshit.
So they asked him and put Ariana Grande on there immediately because
There's a
they're
contingency
trying
plan.
to stay 10 steps ahead of the
I
game.
think Gambino's in that bill too, right?
He probably is.
But just think about it. They know where the next 3 Super Bowls are going to be.
Right.
Right.
I mean, you talked to the guy that. I mean, there was an interview in the festival from the guy who booked it. He said, "I had never done this before."
Right.
You know, like you're
of
booking
them.
national acts like way more money than they're used to getting.
Like they
The,
sent a wire with no money. I was like, how does that even
the
work?
Man.
CMO guy that he said he had never done anything like that before. You could tell he was trying
Surprise,
real
surprise.
hard.
Yo,
You
I
know,
look-
he was trying hard, and I'll say just to put a bow on mine too.
Yes, sir.
Nothing wrong with trying to do what that guy was trying to do, or those
Right.
folks. I think it's incredible to have big ideas and to work hard and to fucking achieve it. But when you start telling lie after lie after lie and a lie to cover a lie and a debt to cover a debt to cover a debt, you end up like that motherfucker, man.
Yeah, and we haven't even talked about Andy Dick Sucking King yet. So
I don't think we need to
Yeah,
talk
I'm
about
cool
it. That
on
was
that.
it
You know
right
what?
there.
Cool
How do
on
we
that.
act like we didn't see
Yeah.
or hear that?
Yeah, I'm cool on
Because,
that. After I saw the mouthwash part, I was like, I'm cool.
You ever sucked dick for crack?
No, because the
I
thing
hope
is,
so.
What?
when
Terrible timing.
He's got AIDS.
okay, all right.
John's trying to cover it. I mean, no.
He hit the wrong button, did he, Spoolz?
No, I mean, because
So,
when they started telling that story, I'm like, oh, he's about to tell
man.
Billy to go to hell. He's like, well, I guess I go take a shower and get this mouthwash together so
Bruh.
we can get this water out of customs.
It's a level of
I
commitment.
clicked at that point when he said that. I was like, I'm cool. I'm cool on this story.
That's
cool.
messed up. They had the token gay dude ready to suck some dick.
And the thing is, the
For
way he
the
told the
festival to
story,
come.
he made it. I don't think he understood
For
that it
water,
was going
actually.
to be in the documentary, and
I'm cool.
millions of people were going to see this. He
I
acted
think
like,
he
well, I
knew
guess
that.
this is out there now.
I think he knew
Boy.
that.
He looked
had to
mad
know.
comfortable in that interview, though.
Yeah.
Like,
Well, he said full
like-
disclosure in the interview right before he
Yeah.
went
Look,
into that
all I
whole-
know is they probably could have done the documentary without hit. Like he wanted to tell that story.
yeah, I'm
sure.
cool. I'm cool. I'm
I mean,
real
that's-
cool.
but if you think
Red
about
August
it,
like that one.
but I mean, it put a bow on everything. You know what I mean? Like because it just showed how fucked up everything was.
Seriously,
like
yeah.
he was literally going to suck dick for water, for
Hey,
bottled
man,
water.
You need a friend like that though.
No,
You need a friend like that
no.
to
I don't
take
need
one
Well-
for the cause. I'm not saying that exact thing.
I'm sorry, but I'm not that friend to any of you.
Yeah,
I would hope not.
I drink.
Like
hope
I'm
so.
saying, not
drink
that
Fyre.
Friendship
exact
over,
thing.
son.
Nah.
Not that exact thing or situation.
I can go buy water. I don't need.
How you gonna get it to the island, bro?
700,000 bottles or something.
I'm
Like,
sorry, man. We
You
drink
sucking dick for that water?
Nah, man. I'm just gonna cup my hands and just drink out the bay or something. I'm not
Nah.
going.
The context
cool.
that I'm putting it in is you got to have a ride or die squad. You know what I'm saying?
I'm with
That's
that.
the most ride or
Not-
die shit I've ever heard. in
That's
my
some
life.
outlandish ride or die shit. But
Yeah.
He must really like.
I'll tell you
Billy.
what, the team he did assemble, they busted their asses,
They
man.
sure did.
You know?
Billy must have been
Almost
a
literally,
master
right.
manipulator because he had fam out there about to go get that work.
Oh, and he couldn't, like, people wouldn't stop just giving him money.
Yeah,
He
Yeah.
had that one lady, I can't remember what her name was, but one of the big
the one that started
investors.
the GoFundMe. No, I'm talking about the.
You talking
I
about
think the caterer.
she wanted Ja Rule to pay $100 grand. Was that $100 grand?
No, she got.
Well,
yeah,
she
yeah.
got some
She got
money
100
from her GoFundMe because she ended up paying $50,000 out
That's
to
what it
those
was.
workers
Yeah,
Out of her own
because she
savings.
lives there.
Yeah,
so
that's
she
what it
has to
was.
make sure that she can still get business and jobs and things like that.
Yep.
Yeah.
So to keep everybody cool with her,
Yeah.
She went in and paid them out of her savings.
That's
So
crazy.
they started to GoFundMe for her, which paid her, I think, like $100,000.
So she got back.
And she was saying that she
Yeah.
believes Ja Rule should have paid for that.
I'm with that.
But the thing is, this is when, as a consumer, I would have been like, you know what, this all looks like it's about to be some bullshit. When they're like, we're gonna do a whole cashless setup, so what you're gonna do is transfer all your money to these
Oh,
bracelets.
man.
But that's what they
That's
actually
tough.
do at those festivals.
I
though.
know,
that's
but
tough,
like
though.
that's
That's
something
tough.
you say ahead of time when you're buying the package. Not like, if you could put your money on this bracelet, like it. The
They
whole
were sending
thing.
like forceful emails. Like everybody's doing it. All
Yeah.
your friends have done it. You need to do it.
yeah.
Like real forceful emails to him, and people were like, "Whoa." Okay, and this is how dumb some of them were. Okay,
cool.
here's $5,000. Like, what
Yeah,
the fuck?
so like
I'm
he was
cool.
I guess
I'm
if
cool.
you got it,
yeah.
which is to Terry's point, like part of it's kind of funny.
It is funny.
I learned something a long time ago, just in business and at work, and it was like,
Business.
sometimes there's not an equivalent of people who have a lot of money and a lot of sense.
That's a fact. It's a good way to end that.
Yeah, what we got next,
Real
man?
quick, let's throw this in here. A couple quick hits. Shout out to Black Panther being in the theaters for Black History Month for free. I saw this somewhere. I guess they cleaned up at the SAG Awards, so I'm Wakanda forever. So shout out to them for that. Future actually had 6 number ones in 3 years and 5 months. That was right behind Elton John, who had 7 back in the 70s. So within a, I believe, 5-year time span. So it was close. It was close.
That's interesting.
Yeah,
It
that's
is interesting, but at the same
that's
time,
dope though. If you
it's the nature of,
No, it
or
ain't.
it's the state of what's going on.
I knew you was gonna say that.
So back then, you had to go through a lot of shit to record those songs.
100%.
Now, I can go record a song today and put that bitch out tomorrow by noon.
I always, to your point, I always tell people that tell me, "Oh man, I'm impressed with the volume that Future puts out. Oh, I can't believe he records all these
I'm
songs."
not impressed
I'm
at
not
all.
impressed at all. These songs are like 2 minutes and 13 seconds on a 20-track EP, and like 10 or 12 of them sound the same. Like, I'm not impressed by these records.
And to Joe Budden's defense, I'm totally with him as far as him saying how Future has led everybody astray as far as him being on drugs. And then he's saying he's not on it, but he's still making the same music.
That's
That's
trash.
just ill.
I agree with Terry on that. I agree with
That's
Joe Budden too.
trash.
Like he said, he wouldn't have him on his podcast, not only because of that, but also because like he hasn't seemed to have like grown as a human.
Yeah.
no.
You
I
know?
He
saw-
still think he gonna get Sierra back.
Like I saw something today.
Shout out to
where
Russell Wilson. We see you out
Yeah,
here.
man.
He
Russell's a good
said,
dude.
"I spend $300,000 a month on clothing."
Close.
And I was,
shoes and clothes.
and I thought to myself, you know what? That's something they're going to play at like the 28-minute mark of
I
behind
see
the
you.
music, or
He would have bought a
some
ticket to
where
Fyre.
It's
Yeah.
it
He would've bought a
shows
ticket.
like where Future is destitute now, because
Yeah.
like if you're spending that much on depreciable assets a month. It's stuff like that that makes me happy that Russell Wilson is the major male figure in his life.
We actually talked
in
about
his son's life. I
We
know it
actually-
sounds
Serious.
harsh, but for real.
No.
We talked about that. I believe we talked about that a while back in terms of him hinting at, I really don't do this.
Yeah,
It's
he's been
just-
said that.
Right.
But
so
to
now
what he's
it's-
saying, he's gonna be on that documentary singing "Nights Like This." I wish
Shout out to Eddie Kane.
Yeah.
that dirty Sprite would fall.
Wow.
Broke in the motherfucker though.
That's
He
man.
broke to the mud.
Yeah, broke in the motherfucker.
So
Okay.
you think about that. Like, I pretty much think a lot of it's some bullshit, just some stunting through the media. But say it's true. That means you're spending upwards of almost $3.5 million
Yeah.
a year on clothing.
Hey.
Your kids don't know what Balenciaga is. They
Nah.
and
Yeah, they don't care.
you gave them some
Thanks, Brad.
Balenciaga shoes,
don't
and
care.
They
and
don't.
they're jealous of the dude who got on
Sock
Spider-Man
shoes.
shoes.
Yeah.
that he got from
They
Target
want
or
some
something.
Bob the
15 bucks,
Builders.
Yeah, they
Yeah.
don't know.
You know what I'm saying? And I want to say this too.
Tell him how you feel, son.
Go to Ross.
I'm going to say this too.
Yeah.
Andre 3000 is one of my favorite artists ever
Sure.
to grace the earth. But him siding with Future, just because he sides with Future, because a lot of people are saying that, oh, that's the pinnacle, that must mean
Yeah.
Future is it.
Yeah.
Man, fuck Future. I could care less that Andre 3000 likes Future, or that's how he bonds with his kid. I mean, that's cool that he bonds with his kid off of Future music. But what he said was something along the lines, he's the most negative, what did he say, most negative positive rapper or
Yeah,
something.
it was
Negative,
something.
positive.
It was something like that,
It was
man.
something
But
real. It was an oxymoron.
it was
in the whole
crazy.
statement,
But like people
yeah.
were like, well, Andre 3000 likes him, so I'm still cool off of it.
Yeah, that shouldn't fucking matter, dude.
As you all know, I've said this and I stand by this 1,000%. I think it's awful that Future had access to the dungeon in his adolescent
That's when he was
years.
called Meathead.
Yep.
He had full access to the dungeon
Mm-hmm.
in his adolescent years, and he puts out the music that he puts
I just
out.
want to hear the Meathead
I don't
shit.
understand.
I want to hear the
I want
Meathead
I'm
shit.
curious to know if it's good.
I want to know.
There's no way I could be around those cats like CeeLo sitting on the steps, Big Boy in the corner, Stacks over here,
Meathead.
Organized Noise. You know what I mean? Like, there's no way I could come out with commas. What's the name of that record?
Fuck
doesn't
up some
matter.
commas.
Yeah, that joint. There's no way I could get that from being around the dungeon. I'm sorry.
Well, here's the part that stings me the most. I mean, as a someone who loves Jimi Hendrix music, since I was very young. For him to call himself Future Hendrix like hurts my soul.
Yeah.
Because he doesn't to me embody anything that Jimi Hendrix did.
He's
What?
probably-
Because he's trippy and
He's
you
probably
talk
not
about
even
drugs and
left-handed.
shit.
He's not even left-handed. I'm more Jimi Hendrix than he is.
That's wisdom right there. I see what you did with the left hand. Go ahead, Lon. I'm sorry.
I was going to transition a little bit.
Yes, sir.
Did you guys hear about the thing with Badu in Chicago?
Yeah.
About R. Kelly?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't see the whole kind of rant or whatnot.
Her angle was what?
That-
If I'm not
that
mistaken, we should pray for him, or
yeah,
he's
that
got
he needs
issues and he needs some help. Is that's what I took
If
from
that's
it.
what it is, I don't see
Essentially.
anything wrong with
I'm
it.
sorry?
Essentially, yeah.
Okay.
She said he needs love, basically, is my understanding, or that we need to basically
mean-
approach things. I don't know. I didn't think it was that bad.
You can need love and still be wrong, though. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah.
You can still be really, really wrong and need love.
The part that stands out to me from what she said something about, oh, Robert, or something like that, and everybody was like, or she goes, fuck him, huh? That's what everybody's saying, right? She
Yeah.
goes, well, that's not love. That's basically all she said.
Okay.
So to me, that wasn't like, Erykah Badu accepts what no.
That's fair.
No, I
She's
have,
stepping in the name of love.
Yeah,
you know?
That's
no,
a good
she's
point.
trying to probably take the approach of like, to what Terry, I think, or somebody just said he needs help.
Yeah, that's the way I took it. She basically was coming off like he need help.
I mean, like,
Lon,
and I
you-
think
you pulling
everyone
up
has
something?
acknowledged that he needs help, but he also probably needs to go to jail.
But there are there are people that are blatantly out here trying to find loopholes to find a way to half support, half diss him.
Man,
Like I don't understand
There's
how
nothing
that's
to
possible.
understand.
There's nothing to understand.
let's not even give that any energy.
Fair enough. Long,
Yeah,
you
we've
looking up
talked
something?
about that one.
I was just trying to see what she actually said, but
That's
I think-
pretty much along the lines of what she said.
Yeah,
though.
because I think Spoolz is right. You know how the media will take it, and you know.
Yeah.
I mean, for her to take, like, I don't think what she said was trying to absolve him of any of the bad things
I
that
don't
he
either.
did.
There you go.
But at the
That's
same
it.
time,
That's
it's
it.
like, it's the most high road you can take and
Right.
say that this person still deserves, you know, maybe not our support financially,
Yeah.
but he
Right.
does, like, maybe it's the fact that no one has shown him any real love since he's been, which is probably true.
It is the highest road you could take.
You know,
and it's very
and-
difficult
and-
sometimes.
And most of
Yeah.
us, I mean, like, you know, we read him for Filth a few episodes ago, and
Yeah.
it's like
Filth,
we don't
flying
like
filth.
we really.
I
After I
see.
saw that, I was like, I don't have that high road to take,
Right.
you know. So
I think one of the most scrutinized comments was the fact that she said something along the lines of around was people that were sexually abused. What if they end up turning out to be something like R. Kelly, something along those lines?
yeah,
And so that comment alone was one that was really targeted as like, oh, well, you're not showing empathy for those people. How do they feel? But I think she poses an interesting question about loving, showing, and you don't have to support an action to,
That's it. That's it right there.
And so, and we are in the culture in general where it's not just media, it's social media in general, just ready to, what is it? What do they
Cancel
call it?
culture.
Cancel culture. Yeah.
Cancel
So,
culture,
and don't get me wrong, I'm a canceler, but
Yeah,
it's,
100%. 100%.
yeah, I don't.
Tory Lanez is the best MC out there.
Hey, he took care of Don
That's
Q.
incredible. And Lil Pump is the most lyrical rapper of all time, too.
yeah.
I'm
Shout
a
out
jet.
He did say that.
I'm
He
a
did.
Jedi. I mean, since we just putting stuff out
Yeah.
there, I'm
Yeah.
also a Jedi,
Yeah.
and I write the best songs, and I'm the
Okay.
best looking man.
I'm having
in
lunch
the
with
Midwest.
Michael Jordan tomorrow.
Mm.
I
Nice.
identify as a billionaire.
Mhm.
I also have a lot of Apple stock.
Wow.
So if you guys want to come over, like once you walk into my house, it adjusts the temperature and every goddamn thing. It actually, the door unlocks.
I didn't
from
know
my
apples
face.
had stalk. You know, like stalk?
Like actual apples?
Stalk?
Hey,
That's what you
hey,
have
We
to
gonna
do.
do this shit. I thought we were just gonna keep going with.
I was just asking.
Whole thing.
Hey, what you was asking?
No, that's not where I was
Okay.
going.
So apples have stock? Is that where we at?
Y'all just know how to fuck up a fucking soup sandwich. I swear to God.
I was
still a
literally
Jedi.
thinking of stalks on
Wasn't
apples.
me, dude.
I know.
Stalks on apples, I mean, that's cool too.
I mean, if you didn't have anything to add, it's cool.
Terry sounded like an angry dad. Oh, we gonna do this shit?
Yo,
I guess I'm done.
yeah.
Okay.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Oh, we gotta take the. Oh, you gonna do this? That's gonna be a good one.
Yeah, that'll be something we can work on. Did I miss anything else? We got anything else? I know we getting close.
What you got on your cue cards?
Well,
there,
we took
Mike?
care. We paid the bills.
I had
earlier.
a great 36th birthday. Thanks for asking me. It was fantastic.
Yo, shout out
turned
to DJ
36.
Spoolz.
I raised the roof for your
Seems like it.
birthday, man.
Yeah, you
It's
did.
cool.
It was incredible.
That's a blessing, Spoolz, to reach 36. That's
I
what's up,
feel the
man.
same. Thanks for saying that, man.
Yeah,
Just happy to
that's
be
what's up.
around on this earth, man.
Earth gang.
Yeah, shout out
Oh,
to Spoolz.
just random. Special shout out to Blake Ali,
Okay.
MC from here in the city. Helped me out with something really, really big recently. He didn't have to help me out with. So, and I had heard from him. He just kind of hit me up on a random. Was like,
Word.
hey, man. And so, special shout out to Blake Ali, one of the most iconic moments in Indiana hip hop when he got kicked off the stage
Wow.
Absolutely. At the MGK show.
at the MGK show. So, shout out to Blake Ali. He's a good dude.
That's
What's
what's
up?
Lord, I hope it's not drugs. Anything else? You got anything else?
No.
I guess I'm done.
No, man.
Yeah.
Shout to Top Speed. We're thinking about you, brother.
Yeah.
Yes.
Top Speed
Yeah.
going through some things, man. We love you, man, and
Yes.
we're thinking about you.
Yeah,
For sure.
man.
Condolences,
So-
brother. For sure. I think that's going to do it for episode 118 of the New Old Heads podcast. Make sure you check us out. Patreon.com/New Old Heads. BringingDownTheBand.com. There's a hub as always. Shout out to Infinity, Coleman Dental, Indie CD and Vinyl, and No Bad Ideas. For Jay Moore, Longevity, DJ Jay Diff, and Spoolz, I am H7th, and we will see you
I'm
next
a
week.
DJ too.
Billy.
I said DJ Spoolz, didn't I?
Shout out to
DJ
Red
Spoolz.
August, too. You could
Shout out to
say
Red
that.
August.
Yeah, him too.
We'll see y'all next week. Philly, we
hope
see
so.
you. Memphis, what up?
I guess I'm done.